So is this more prevalent in neurotypical individual? Because you what you've been discussing,
Yes.
you are not specific. Is it for neurotypical individual or is it mostly
For
people in the spectrum?
okay, first, it's a general thing,
Okay.
be it neurotypical or neurodivergent. But because of the, I don't want to use the word inability, but for the challenges that neurodivergent individuals, those on the spectrum, especially autistic individuals, the challenges they face transitioning from one mode to another, it is very, very important that we inculcate this structure, this routine into the system, that when they are still in college, they begin to work. I've seen a few and it worked out very well. The boy was in college, immediately even got into college. He got a car wash job. Yeah, it does not really matter if he's the one putting on the tire and sitting at the back and calling the shot. No,
Yeah.
but the aim is to help him understand how real life is and how real life works, help him to transition. So he got the car wash job and then he's doing well. The other one I got to know, he got a job as an attendant in one restaurant. Yeah, he serves coffee. He's autistic.
Wow.
He serves coffee, and like that you have one that is a gardener. Yes, so every weekend he goes to houses and then he helps them to cut down the flowers and arrange the stuff. So it is basically centered on those on the spectrum.
Okay.
Not just, yes, everyone should have that privilege,
Yes.
but we should pay more attention, more focus on those on the spectrum. Yes, and also ADHDers.
Okay, Mr. Victor, just like what you've been saying, so you made it clear
Yes.
that people in the spectrum, just their brain interprets the word differently.
Yes.
So these difficulties in transitioning that you've been talking about, can you say that it correlates with the people in the workspace too? Because just like what you said, you just don't transition. The people in the spectrum don't just transition. They have to
Yes.
take it step by step.
Yes.
So is it just based on the things they are seeing, the settings of the environment of the office space, or with the people too? Is everything a factor to difficulty in transitioning for a person in the spectrum?
Wow. That's quite good. The question is good, and it's something that we need to look at.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing there is, it is about everything. The people you meet and the condition of the workspace.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say it is about what gives them the challenge is the tangible and the intangible. Yeah. The animate and the inanimate. Yes. So, and I would like to explain that. I said 4 things: tangible, the intangible, animate, and the inanimate.
Okay.
Now, explaining the tangible is things you can touch. Tangible things you
Okay.
can touch.
Okay.
So, from the furniture, yes, what's the texture of the furniture? If it's someone that will be making use of the furniture, what's the texture or what's the intensity of the light? Is there noise there? So if the light is so bright and they are sensitive to high light intensity, right?
Yeah.
Definitely it needs to be regulated. You need to change the bulbs. Yes, to dim it. Okay? Or they allow them put on shades that would reduce yes.
The absorption of the light.
Yes,
Yeah.
so in some office settings, shades are not permitted.
Yes.
So you permit them to put on shades.
Okay.
Yeah, glasses that will help reduce the intensity. if it's a place where you have loud noises or noises that disrupt the concentration of a person that is on the spectrum and works there, permit the person to use noise cancellation headphones.
Okay.
And then if it's an auditory, like I just mentioned, but if it's a visual thing, then make the text so big so they can read it.
Okay.
Yes, they can read it, because there could be underlying conditions such as dyslexia and the likes.
Okay.
So you make it so bold, right? And possibly you could also pass informations not just by text, by audio.
Okay.
Yes. So it syncs. So you can see now that is the tangible part. Now, looking at the intangible part has to do with the autistic individual, their neurological makeup. Because ASD is a neurological condition, is a neurodevelopmental condition, is a lifeless. So it is influenced by the way the brain receives, processes, and interprets information.
Okay.
You get that?
Yes.
So, and also how the environment reacts to these individuals. So it's a two-way thing. This one is conditioned to act this way, but is this person understanding this one?
Yeah.
You get it? So
Yes.
the intangible part first has to do with the autistic individual.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is understanding how they work. You can understand how you work.
Yes.
So understanding how they work, how they are wired, what triggers them, what gives them soothing relief, what pushes them to the cliff edge, right? To the edge and all of that. So once you're able to know, oh, if I stay in a very loud environment, then I'll become sensory overloaded and all of that. You avoid it and use head cancellation.
Yes.
So that's the intangible part. Now, yes. Now coming to the animate and the inanimate, right? Now, the animate has to do with living things. The people, this one plays a very important role.
Okay.
Yes. Mostly in Africa, there's a whole lot of discrimination. Yes, and maybe in some parts of developed nations, we should not discriminate.
Okay.
That's the animate part. Yes, don't discriminate. Don't use slow words. Don't say what you don't mean. Don't forget their language part is plain.
Oh.
They do not understand social cues. Yes, they don't understand social cues in the light or context of a neurotypical person. Not that they do not play or use words in social cue form, but the way they understand it,
The way they interpret
the
it.
way they interpret it is totally different from how a neurotypical person will. So to stay safe and help yourself and help them and keep communication clear, don't say what you don't mean and don't mean
what you don't say.
yeah. So if you say something, mean it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is about those people, the people that the autistic individual is working with and working for, to understand this. When they understand all of this, then there will be no challenge. And referring to the inanimate things, it's like what I also talked about is related to what I talked about on the tangible things.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so the vehicles, yes, all these things, if it's a person that is using a machine, yes, what are the things put in place to help that autistic individual use that machine perfectly? So all of these things, they need to be put in place. And some autistic individuals, to a large extent, they don't like pets.
Really?
Yeah, to a large extent. A few persons might, but they don't like pets. So if you're having guard dogs and things like that, you should know that those things should be restricted, like that, use of chains and the likes. Yeah, and then one thing just I like to share this is shutting of door. It could be simple, but it's very important. To certain persons, they like the door open because it gives them this sense of when anything goes south, they are able to exit.
Oh, okay.
But they become tensed when the door is shut, especially when you lock it. And most offices, they lock the door, depending on, the department. You lock the door, they are tensed. So these are the things that just need to be put in place. And once it's understood, transitioning will be seamless. Though it might not be 100% comfortable, but yes, it's going to worth it.
Wow. Okay, for an autistic individual who
Yes.
is a young adult.
Yes.
So how can they build community and make friends in a workplace?
Building community and making friends is just like every other person would make friends and build a community.
Yeah, because I know that most of them are being marginalized, and two, they are being they segregate.
They isolate them. They are being isolated from the community. Yes. Yeah, that's a community that is not informed. Yeah, and that's why we are here creating awareness and making sure that we take the message of inclusivity to the utmost part of the earth. Yes, to every nation, to everyone, across the surface of the earth. Now, how they can do that is understanding who they are, their strengths. Okay, I would like to share this story. While I was much younger, I noticed that I'm not tall like my friends. Yes, and this is how they can. Remember, I said leveraging on their strengths. Yes. And you can't know you will not know your strength until you understand who you are.
Yes.
Good. So now I noticed that I'm not the tall person. Maybe like I was very
small,
petite in size, very, very petite in size. But I had friends that were very tall. So when we go to play football, they will pick them ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yes, they will pick them ahead of me because they want physicality and the likes.
Yes, the people that are able to play the ball.
Yes. So, and sometimes the ball is like my height. Okay. So now this is what I found out. I am not a physical person. Okay. So naturally, I'm not built to have muscles. So I said, okay, what do I have that is an advantage to me? So I began to check. And I found out that I don't have physical muscles, but I have mental muscles. So I began to build on my mental muscle. Then before I found out that my strength, I was left. So I'm the pick me. You get that?
Yes.
I'm the pick me. So I'm the one chasing after people. And when they reject me, I feel, I'm not good enough and all of that.
Because of your physical.
Yes. So, but when I found out that you have something they don't have, you have something they can leverage, you can leverage on and attract people. And I built it. I pick my friends. To this day, I don't know. I pick my friends. Why? Because I understood myself. I understood my strengths. I built on my strength. I leveraged on my strengths, and it gave me a platform, a leverage. Then you understand.
Yes.
So it's the same thing for autistic individuals. They are very creative people, very intelligent people. Some are physical. Yes, some are. When I say physical, they are physical strength
Okay.
plus their creativity. While others are not physical, they are mainly creative. Their creative mind is so sharp. Focus on something that is of value, build it, and you will get friends. That is it, because everyone wants to be associated with value. So that is the way to make friends and build a community. That's it. That is my personal advice.
Wow. So, can you explain what happens
Yes.
when a young adult that is
Yeah.
autistic finally
Okay.
makes a community or have a community? Like, can you describe the joy? Can I call it an autistic joy when he finally makes his own community and friends?
Wow, the joy is compared to nothing. Have you ever been hungry for like 2 straight days and without water, and then finally you get food and water after eating? The joy you get,
The satisfaction.
the joy you get from being satisfied and eating the food you have so craved for. Words cannot explain it. Even though you put it in writing, you will know that no, something is lacking here. That is the joy. It is the scripture will say, Bible will say, joy unspeakable. So the joy they have is unspeakable joy. You understand? They have unspeakable joy. So it is something that is very, very glorious. Yeah. But with the glamour, with the glitz and the glamour, they need someone that will be checkmating them.
Why is this
So they don't go overboard. I'll share you, and this is me not saying these persons are autistic, but I'm letting you know how people can go overboard when you have a community. Okay, be it 5 persons, 10 persons, 1,000 persons, 20,000 persons community. There are some artists, celebrity artists, musicians that we've had over time after attaining the height and pinnacle of success, and possibly they lodge in a hotel or somewhere, and then the fans, their supporters get to know and then converge there. We've had of people throw egg, pee,
different things that I cannot mention here.
Good. Now, that is what can be controlled. An autistic individual can do that.
Really?
Yes, can do that.
Wow.
They are overwhelmed.
Oh.
I remember they can have sensory overload. So seeing the people and the noise, if they are sensitive to noise and they have that kind of community, and coming out seeing like you can't even see the end of the crowd. You just want to pee on them, and the peeing on them is not to state a class of superiority. The peeing on them is to chase them.
To chase them.
Just they should go. So you will have your.
I've seen female artists, female rappers.
Yes.
Like most of us know.
Yeah.
Like they are very prominent.
Yes.
When they are on stage, and then some of her fans are showing some maybe a cloth or anything.
Yeah.
So I've seen one of her her concert that she used her mic, and then she threw at one of the fans that threw her maybe a cloth or anything. So are you saying that something like this is very similar to an autistic person?
Yes. So that's why I said, even with the fame, when they are having the joy, they get their community, it's very important that they have someone that is there that checkmates them, a regulator.
Oh.
They have a regulator that understands them. No, you can't do this, you can't do this, you do this, and that's it. If not, they'll go overboard. They will go overboard, and then what is supposed to be their safe haven becomes a fire that will burn them. So that's it.